Next question. A local restaurant claims that the waiting time for its patrons to be served is the lowest in the area. A competitor restaurant checks the waiting time at both restaurants. The sample statistics are listed below. Test the local restaurant's hypothesis. Use alpha equal 5%. Assume population variances are not equal. So we got the data from the local restaurant. We got the data from the competitor restaurant. And we need to test if the mean waiting time at the local restaurant is lower than the mean waiting time at any other restaurant, including the competitor. So it will be mu1 less than mu2. And as you know, the null is always a statement of equality. We're going to run t-stats on this one, 2 sample with summary. And population variances are not equal means pooled is off. So pool variances are off when we use a static crunch. So let me show you how to do that. So t-stats, 2 sample with summary. All right. Okay. Sample mean 1 is 4.5. Sample standard deviation 1.1. Sample size is 45. For the second one, the sample mean is 4.8. Sample standard deviation was 1, and the sample size is 50. And look right here. If you select pool variances, that means we're assuming population variances are equal. Since he says they're not equal, by default it's off, so you just leave it off right here. And we need to test that mu1 minus mu2 is less than 0. And if you want to show the p-value, you just select it from here and then hit compute. So we get test statistic is negative 1.385. And the p-value is 0.0847, which is bigger than alpha. So we're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. And let me show you the p-value. P-value is going to be on the left because that's a left tail test. This is the p-value right here. So test statistic again is negative 1.385. P-value is 0.0847, which is bigger than alpha. You fail to reject the null hypothesis. And if you fail to reject the null hypothesis and the claim is in H1, you cannot support the claim. You say there is not enough evidence at the 0.05 level of significance to support the claim, and write down what the claim is right here. I just copy it from here, that the waiting time for its patrons to be served is the lowest in the area. Next question, a random sample of 8 apples of variety A and an independent random sample of 13 apples of variety B yielded the following weights in ounces. Do the data provide sufficient evidence to conclude that the mean weight of apples of variety A differs from the mean weight of apples of variety B? Use alpha equal 10% level of significance. Assume that the sample come from normally distributed population with no outliers. Assume population variances are not equal. For the last sentence, population variances are not equal means pooled is off. Okay, so this is what we're gonna need to test. We need to test that mu1 is different from mu2, and this is where the claim. And null hypothesis is always a statement of equality. Why did I say different? Because they say variety A differs from mean weight of variety B. We're going to input the data into StatCrunch, variety A in one variable and variety B in the second variable, and we run t-stats with two sample with data this time. Okay, let me show you how we go about doing this. Okay, let's go to StatCrunch. So I got the data already in StatCrunch, so we're going to go to stat, t-stats, 2 sample with data. Select the data in column 1. So it's called variety A, and column B, variety B. Ignore the where you can discard this. You don't select this one because it says pooled is off. Population variances are not equal. And right here, guys, we're gonna select not equal to. Let me just move this a little bit inside. So equal, not equal, we're good here. We're gonna hit compute. Test the statistics negative 1.506. P-value is 0.1499, which is bigger than alpha, 10%. We're gonna fail to reject the null hypothesis. And in this case, if you fail to reject HO, you cannot support the claim because the claim is in H1. So P-value is 0.499, bigger than alpha. We fail to reject HO. And if you fail to reject HO and the claim is in H1, you cannot support the claim. You say there is not enough evidence at the 0.10 level of significance to support the claim that the mean weight of apples of variety A differ or is different from the mean weight of apples of variety B. Okay, next question. Next question. The average adult, which is number 18, the average adult male height in a certain country is 170 centimeter. We suspect that the men in a certain city in that country might have a different average height due to some environmental factors. We pick a random samples of size. Let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I put 99 here. Of size 9 from the adult males in the city and obtain the following values for their heights. Assume that the height distribution in this population is normally distributed. Is there enough evidence to support the claim that the men have a different average height in this country? Different from what, guys? From 170. I skipped numbers 17, 16, 15 because I want to do them in a separate video because they pertain to chapter 12, so I'm going to do them separately. Okay, so let's do this one. The first thing that you have to do, you have to enter the data into a StatCrunch before you run t-stats on that. So let's do that in StatCrunch. So here we need to test that the mean is different from 170 centimeter. That's the claim. It's a t-stat, one sample with data. And we're going to input the data manually. And then we're going to run the test. So let me show you how to run the test. Here you go. I put the data already there. So we're going to go to stat, t-stats, one sample with data. It's in variable 4. And we're testing against the value 170, not equal. That's the one that we want. And then you can hit compute. So T is negative 1.528 and p-value is a huge 0.1651, which is bigger than alpha. We're going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. So T is negative 1.538, p-value is 0.1650, which is bigger than alpha. And if it is bigger than alpha, we fail to reject HO. The only time we reject HO when p-value is less than alpha. And the conclusion is the following. There is not enough evidence at the 5% level of significance to support the claim that the men have a different height from 170 centimeter. Okay, the remaining questions pertaining to chapter 12, there are 3 questions. I'm going to do them in a separate video. So you're going to get the 3 short videos for this study guide. I've already done 2, and then I'm about, just to produce the 3rd one.